Girls Talk Shirts. Hey, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to another week of Girls Talk Shirts.
Yes.
I can't say that
Bow,
today.
bow, bow.
Been stumbling over
over
name.
your words. It is kind of a tongue twister. Girls Talk Shirts, Girls Talk Shirts, Girls Talk Shirts, Girls Talk Shirts.
All right. So this week we wanted to just do something super light and just easy to talk about. And we used our nice little friend, ChatGPT. And we wanted to go back in time to a fantastic year.
Yes.
Of 2011, our graduation year. The year we became...
The year of our Lord, 2011.
The year we became grown-ups. And we just wanted to talk about things that were popular at that time, different music choices, fashion choices, movies that were coming out, just different types of things that were going on that year.
Yeah. So you guys can just envy the fact that we got to live through 2011.
Fun fact, I mean, if you made it through 2011, then you made it through 2012. If you saw the movie 2012,
yes.
One of these days I'm going to show it to Graceland and I'm going to tell her that I survived 2012. Yeah. I'm going to tell her that it's based on a true story and that I survived 2012.
Just really freak her out.
Oh my gosh.
Man, everybody really thought that the world was going to end.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of we'll see.
Yeah. There's other times that they've said that the world was going to end. And then
Y2K. We survived Y2K.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if the Lord wants to take me, I mean, go right ahead. I'm willing and ready. Here we go.
So we asked ChatGPT specifically what kind of things were popular in the year of 2011. And it told us that in 2011, there were several notable trends and cultural phenomena.
A lot of big things happened in 2011. So
let's start with music. Now, some of these songs that they point out, they weren't my favorite. I honestly can't pinpoint what kind of music I was listening to at that time. But it said some popular artists and songs from 2011 include Adele's album 21 with hits like Rolling in the Deep and Someone Like You. I do remember Someone Like You. It's a fantastic song.
Yes.
Rihanna's We Found Love. Katy Perry's Firework, which is just fantastic. And LMFAO's Party Rock Anthem.
Party rocking in the house. That was major.
Yeah, that was.
Everybody was dancing.
Yeah, that definitely
like
was
you were in the
big
club,
song.
even though, technically we were now old enough to go to the club, but we weren't. We were good Christian girls. We weren't going to the club.
But yeah, that was a big song. Do you remember what kind of music you were listening to?
I've always had a very eclectic musical taste. I guess maybe that's not the real word. I mean, I always have listened to a variety of stuff, whether it was Christian music or some country stuff here and there. Not like uber country, but definitely, some. And then some pop stuff, some light rap / hip hop type of stuff. Like I was really into, like at that point, like I probably got introduced to Lil Wayne sometime in high school, and I definitely fell
in that
down a rabbit hole there a little bit for a time. And like Drake and obviously T-Pain, Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown.
They came out with some good hits back in the day.
Yep. Some of them I've noticed are like resurfacing. Some, specifically Chris Brown, like some of his songs are like resurfacing, and they hit.
They do
so good.
And I think there is a portion of people on the interwebs that are like, oh, we can't like Chris Brown because of something. And I was like, but have you heard the song? It's
so good.
It's very catchy.
Yeah. That's how I just remember senior year always pulling out of the senior parking lot. And I, for some reason, felt I had to roll down my windows and blare some sort of rap song.
Okay.
And I don't know why that was a thing, but it was my thing. And
so you were one of those people.
Yeah. What kind of car were you driving your senior year?
I had a Honda Accord.
I remember that.
I think it was like a 2004 or 5 Honda Accord. And I had that for several years until Anthony and I, a little bit after we got married, I got a different car, but I had that for several years.
You had it for a while.
Yeah. I liked it. It was comfortable, rode really nice, so it was really good.
I forgot about that car.
Yeah. Sometimes I still see it because we sold it to somebody like here in town and we had a Joy FM sticker on the back of it. And so sometimes I will see it driving through town.
My dad saw my Mustang.
Oh, really?
Because there was a part of like the headlight that was kind of broken off. And he saw it and it was still pink. Like the back stripes on it were still pink and it had the like little piece out of it.
The pink pinstripes and the pink lettering. That was iconic.
The fact that it said, so on Mustangs on the side, they typically, if you have the stripe that's on the bottom, it says Mustang. Mine said Princess.
Yes.
And then the back where it said Mustang, that was pink. Ugh.
So good.
That car was just so great. I think it was a 2004 or 2005. And I loved it. And I drove it until I was in college. Because I think I got it when I was 17. And then I drove it until I was in college. And then it was about to start like having major
I can remember times like when you had to get out like a hammer and open up the hood and like hit some sort of something to get it to like restart.
I think we were at Walmart one time and we had to get out and do that. Walmart or like the mall or
I think
something.
It was the mall. Yeah. And I took a video of it. So I probably have a video of it somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's a Girls Talk Shirts episode where I put in like, here we are. Savannah's turning her car on by herself.
Oh my gosh. That was hilarious. All right. Next, Chat GPT talks about movies. Blockbuster movies of 2011 included Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. We talked about it. We're not big Harry Potter people.
Never seen a single one.
I've seen the first and the second one. That's about it.
I was never allowed to as a child because wizardry is basically the work of Satan. So never watched it. And now it's almost kind of like, now I'm adult, so I don't know if you knew that. I am an adult now. So I could watch it whenever I wanted, but it's also kind of like, now it's kind of like this fun thing of, I'm just never going to watch it.
Yeah.
And see how long I can go. I could probably go the rest of my life. I've made it this far and I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yeah. So. I watched the first and second one, but I didn't read the books or anything. So I don't really care. Next was the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. I did get very into those movies. The acting got much better.
Yeah, if you can make it through the first one, just make it through the first one. And then the second one is slightly better.
Slightly less cringy.
And then the third one, honestly, out of all of them, I think I like the third one the most. What's that one called? Eclipse, yes. But yeah. It does get so good.
Yeah. I remember seeing like that movie and I remember I had a Jacob shirt on because I was like Team Jacob and you waited till midnight to go into those ones and yeah. Next is the Hunger Games, the first one.
Yes.
That is.
Now I do like the Hunger Games way more than Twilight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
But see, I just love the first Hunger Games. I think the sequels of them isn't as my favorite, but the first Hunger Games is just so good. It is
so good. I do like all of them, but I will say that first one is just so good.
Could you imagine if that's really what
living
the
in
world
that
was?
kind of world? Absolutely not. I'd probably be in, District 12, and then my name would get picked and then I'd probably die immediately. I'd probably
You would not volunteer as tribute?
Probably not. I'd probably step off the podium too soon and then my thing would blow up or whatever was supposed to happen. I haven't read the books or watched movies in a while, but that's probably how I would go. It's by anticipating the little horn thing and then like going too soon or I don't know. I just like just knowing myself, like I don't have any skills set. Like I can't do like bow and arrows like Katniss. I can't, paint myself to look like the landscape like PETA can. I could probably kill you with my sarcasm. But other than that, no, I don't think I would make it very far.
That's crazy to think about, though. The next two movies are not ones that I have seen. They are Thor and Captain America, the First Avenger.
It blows my mind that you have not seen any of them, but especially Captain America, because Chris Evans. Need I say more? And then also
Chris Hemsworth is
but I don't know. Like Thor to me, like as attractive as Chris Hemsworth is and like his nice like Australian accent, like I don't know, Thor as a character is very annoying to me. He's very self-centered in a way and I just find it off-putting. So like I'm okay like with you not seeing Thor. But Captain America, Steve Rogers.
See, I'm pretty sure Aaron would pick Thor over Captain America in terms of like the movies. I'm pretty sure he prefers Thor over Captain America.
One thing that I like about Captain America is that it is set originally in like World War II era, and I love World War II era type stuff. So I think that that's why I kind of lean towards that. And then also Chris Evans, and then also in the movie is Sebastian Stan. I don't know if you know too much about him, but he's also really good to look at. So immediately the next one you should watch is Captain America.
Right.
All of the Captain America movies to me are really, really good because
are there like several?
So there's the first one, Captain America, the First Avenger. And then there's Captain America Civil War, which brings in Iron Man and then also a little bit of Spider-Man. I think that's technically the first movie that like Tom Holland's Spider-Man is in. And then there's also a little bit of Ant-Man, I believe. And the one guy that he's some kind of like the Falcon guy. I can't think of what his name is in the movie other than the Falcon.
It'll come to me.
And then that might be it. It might just be those two. I don't think, is there a third one after that? Whoa, I lied. So there's Captain America, the First Avenger. And then there's Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I forgot about that one. How could I forget? Because that one, Sebastian Stan, again, he comes back. You think he died. I'm going to spoil it for you. You think he dies in the first Captain America. He does not. The bad guys capture him, turn him into this killing machine called the Winter Soldier. Right? And he's so buff and like, wow, Sebastian. And then there is the Civil War one, which brings in all of the people that I just mentioned. And then it also talks about Avengers Infinity War, but that's like everybody. That's like all of the Avengers.
That is the next one Aaron was
of the Captain America movies, there are 3. But I think they are all really, really good.
Okay.
Like if I like, they are so much better than the Thor movies by far. The Thor movies to me are just like the storylines just aren't that good to me.
Yeah.
Like maybe the first one just a little bit, but like the other ones of that are like so dumb to me.
See, my viewpoint on it is I don't think I am going to ever care to watch the ones that are like the individual people, like
but you have to
Thor
that's how you understand that's how you have to understand the actual Avengers stuff.
And that's what Aaron says. He wants me to watch Infinity War next because I do really enjoy Endgame. And he's like,
wait a second. You've seen Endgame, but not Infinity War. So you've seen the second half, but not the first half. And you didn't find it confusing?
Well, my husband talked through the whole thing and like explaining, like he would pause it and he's like, okay, so this is what happened. Blah, 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 blah.
He
blah.
has done you a major disservice.
Well, the problem is he loved Endgame. He saw it like several times in theaters. Like he loved it. And then there was one night he would even watch it at work. Like he would put it on in the background because he just enjoyed it. And so there was one night he was really wanting to watch it. He's like, let's just watch it. And I'm like, fine, but I'm not going to understand what's happening. And so at the beginning, when he's like out in the crowd and then like they go missing, like he's like explaining to me like why they went missing.
See, and that's why it's dumb. Aaron, if you ever listen to this, you did it all wrong. At the very least, start with Infinity War and just explain who all of the characters are at that point. Don't start with the freaking last movie of the whole saga and then have to explain literally throughout the entire movie what is going on, because that's just dumb.
I will say though, even with not watching Infinity War first, Endgame is a fantastic movie.
But you would enjoy it even more.
I know. So yeah, I will be watching Infinity War, but yeah, so Thor and Captain America, the first Avenger, those came out. So that was basically what movies were popular at that time. Also, it says Transformers, Dark of the Moon. I didn't like that.
I could not tell you which one that is. If it's not the very first one with Shia LaBeouf and, the smoke show of Megan Fox, then I don't know what it is.
I think the first two have, I think it was the third one that they got rid of Megan Fox.
And Shia LaBeouf's still in it?
Shia LaBeouf was in also the third one, and then they got rid of Shia LaBeouf too, and then put Mark Wahlberg in it. But there was one that they just took Megan Fox out of. But the first two are really good. The second one is my favorite. But
I could not tell you exactly what I'm pretty sure I have seen both of them, but I couldn't tell you what happened in either one.
So next is like attractions or events. According to ChatGPT, in 2011, events like the royal wedding of Prince William and Catherine Middleton captured global attention. I honestly don't remember.
I couldn't tell you. I honestly thought they were like already married before then. Honestly,
I don't remember it being something that I was super intrigued by, which is odd because now I am very intrigued with that family.
I did tune into Harry's wedding.
I did it. I was at work at Lakeland and I was working night shift, and that morning we all were watching it because it started at 5:00 our time.
Yeah.
And so we were all in an empty room and we turned the TV on to watch it. And that was something I looked forward to. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember Prince William and Catherine's. And then the release of the iPhone 4S, which is crazy since we're about to be on iPhone, 16? I think the 15's already out. So then next it's going to...
Yeah.
Is that this year that they're going to have the 16, or will it be the 15?
They don't tell me when they're going to be releasing these things and what they're going to be calling them.
But are they still doing the... I have a 12, so I'm far behind.
Oh, I'm very far behind. My phone's 4 years old.
Which one do you have?
An iPhone 11.
Okay. So yeah, we're kind of behind on that. So I don't know if they still do the S's after the whole thing, but we actually went back on Instagram and I found a picture of when I got my iPhone 4S, which was in 2012, but they came out in 2011, as well as the debut and liftoff of Pinterest, apparently. And we looked it up, and Pinterest did come out in 2010.
But I think it said that it was just for friends and family at first.
Yeah.
So they were probably testing it out a little bit, getting rid of any bugs or issues or whatever. And then once they felt like it was good for the public, then it was fully released in 2011.
And there was a time where Pinterest was.
I would just scroll. That was scroll. Like that's where I scrolled.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't TikTok. It wasn't Instagram. It was Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember having it, and I was working at this place, and there were older women that worked there, and they would talk about it, and they would pronounce it Pinterest, and it would drive me up a wall. Just say Pinterest. Just say Pinterest. Give it a try. And say Pinterest, not Pinterest. It would drive me insane.
I must admit, I do still occasionally use Pinterest for just random things. For our wedding, I did use a couple things. I also look for it when we're planning like Graceland's birthday parties or things like that. I look up stuff, but I really don't use it the way that I used to.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, I definitely used it. I never had a Tumblr, so I don't really know what you ever did on Tumblr, but I think the way that I used Pinterest was very similar to how I think people used Tumblr. But I also don't really know what you did on Tumblr. But I will still use it occasionally, like for similar things. Right now we are hopefully in the process of maybe having another house within the next year or so. And so I have been looking at a ton of different house type of things, which is exactly what I did when we built our other house in Kentucky, was just look up a whole bunch of stuff on there. Yeah. But I do really like it. Like you can find all sorts of things on there. I will use it sometimes for different like recipes for stuff. Or sometimes just like looking at cute outfits or hairstyles.
That's what I found myself doing a lot, is hairstyles or hair colors.
Yeah.
And
hair colors or like hair cuts, like different like layers or whatever type of stuff I want to try to do. So
I must admit, I have been on Pinterest quite a bit the last couple weeks in anticipation for my hair extensions.
Yes.
Of just different ways of caring for them and products to use on them and ways of washing your hair with them. I have done far too much research on these, but then also at the same time, not enough. And so I have been more on Pinterest recently, but it's definitely not the way that I used to use it by any means. So yeah, next we can talk about fashion, because that's the last thing on here.
Okay.
So fashion trends in 2011 included skinny jeans, which these upcomers keep trying to take skinny jeans from us, and I'm just not about it. I'm still going to wear my skinny jeans. I'll wear my mom jeans too. I like my like cropped straight leg jeans too, but nothing beats a good skinny jean.
Yeah.
Leggings.
I can remember like when skinny jeans became popular, and it was just kind of like, what is this? Like the whole thing is going to be skinny? Like, what do you mean? Like it blew my mind.
Yeah. I remember it took me a while to like get a pair of skinny jeans, because I was very like in my flare era. And I remember when they became a thing, I thought you couldn't wear like sneakers with them. So like when people wore them to school and like they wore sneakers, I was like, you can't, like, you're supposed to wear sandals with them. Like,
yeah.
And then you had guys walking around with like extremely skinny jeans, particularly at our church. And they were just far too tight for some people, but
you know who you are.
But yeah, skinny jeans were definitely a big thing, and we're however many years later and I'm still wearing them. Leggings, still a thing.
But they're different now. Like I don't wear the same type of leggings that I did then.
Yeah.
Like now the leggings that I have, they're like workout.
They're
leggings.
Like yoga pant type things. I feel like the leggings back then, you had to wear something that was long enough because they were not thick.
Yeah, they were very thin and sometimes kind of see-through in maybe like your butt area. And so you had to then wear like one of those like tunic style type of shirts, like a longer type of shirt.
Or like a sweater.
Yes. Yeah. And then it became very popular, especially in like fall/winter times, to wear like the tall boots with them. Like you knew it was fall when all of the white girls were wearing their leggings,
their
tall
riding boots. And,
yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. The next thing is oversized sweaters, which I do remember that being a thing. But of course, us in Florida, we couldn't wear these like big, heavy sweaters.
Yeah.
So it was awkward because we're wearing these like short sleeve sweater turtleneck looking things, again, with our leggings and our tall boots.
Yes.
I remember one sweater in particular I had. It was black and it was like kind of see-through. Like it was kind of that like crochet type material.
Yeah.
And it was off the shoulder, which is another topic we're going to get to. And it was long enough that I wore with like leggings and boots or whatever, but I wore that like all the time, whether it was hot outside, it was cold outside. I wore the crap out of that sweater so much, but
I think I remember what you're talking about. And it was cute. It was very like of the times.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody had similar like sweater, dress, vest type things like that.
Mm-hmm. Statement jewelry.
I've never been a jewelry type of gal.
There was a time where like statement necklaces were like such a thing. And I remember Caroline had her big like jewelry cabinet thing. And she had all of these, Caroline, if you're listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All of these statement necklaces.
Yeah, the really big.
Like the circles that have like a V.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
all the things. And every time I went to her house, I would have to find something because I'm like, oh, I think I had maybe one necklace that was like a statement necklace. And I was like, I can't wear it all the time.
Yeah.
So what do? Go and raid Caroline's little cabinet of jewelry. And she had every color you could think of.
I feel like if you were the type of girl that wore a big statement necklace, then you may have also been the type of girl that used a bump it. Remember bump its?
That was good. I think also during that time, do you remember like peplum tops being like super popular?
Yes.
I just remember I saw a TikTok on that a couple weeks ago. It was like getting ready in like the like late 2000s or whatever. And it was a peplum top. They were like, what are you wearing tonight? And it's like peplum top.
Yeah.
And they're like, how are you wearing your hair? High bun. And they're like, what else? And then a statement necklace. And like they all say it at the same time and they all come out. But like one's mint, one's coral, and one is like hound, like the chevron print or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like
that was it. It was like a uniform that you had.
I don't think I ever had a peplum top. I'm not even going to lie.
No, I never did.
I don't think I had the like body for it. Like I always felt very disproportioned.
Yeah, it is a weird style.
Yeah. High-low skirts and dresses.
Yeah. I definitely had a couple of high-low dresses.
Yeah. My I don't remember what year. So I don't think it was 2011 though, but one of my homecoming dresses was a high-low dress. And I remember that being such a huge thing.
It was massive.
That's so funny.
It changed the game. It could be high and you could have like the feeling of wearing like a shorter dress, but then you don't have to worry about it being too short like on the backside because it's also low.
And the last thing for the fashion trends, according to ChatGPT, were military-inspired jackets and lace detailing. So two different things there. But military-inspired jackets, I don't remember that being a thing in like our group of friends. Lace detailing, however.
Yes.
I do remember everybody having their tank tops sticking out of the bottom of their shirts
with
the
little
lace.
Bit of lace. Your safety, if you're going to wear a safety shirt, you might as well have it be cute with a little rim of lace.
And it had to be like strategically placed so that you saw the lace.
Yes.
Like you could not have it.
Because what's the point in wearing it if nobody's going to see the lace? That's the whole reason why you're wearing it.
Or if you wore two different tank tops and the bottom one had the lace on the top.
The bottom one had the lace.
And it had the lace on the top and then the lace on the bottom and you had to strategically place it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. I had a skirt one time that had lace at the bottom and like the whole rim of it was like a lace poking out of it. And oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like the memories that pop back in my head every time we talk about like things from back then.
Mm-hmm.
Back then. However many years ago.
Back then. What has it been now? 2011 was 13 years ago?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you guys ever have like a high school like 10-year reunion thing?
One was planned, but I think it was in like the midst of COVID. I think COVID was kind of dying down a little bit. But I don't know if it ever actually happened. I know we had a Facebook group that started literally our senior year. And everybody would randomly write on it like throughout the years, like, hope you're all doing well. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why, but, they started talking about the reunion on that page, but I don't know if it actually ever happened. Did you guys have one for collegiate?
No. I mean, if they ever made anything for it, then they didn't make it public enough for me to be able to find it. Because I do remember like kind of like looking around like on Facebook. Because I am still friends with several of the people that I graduated with, but I couldn't find anything. And I did find like somebody has like a picture of like the graduating class like from graduation day. And I did write on that, like, are we doing this thing? Like, 10 years is coming up. And a lot of people like wrote back saying like, yeah, let's do it. And then like nothing ever happened. And I mean, it was 2021. So COVID was still kind of a thing and whatnot. So I don't know if maybe that was like enough reasoning for people to just not want to do it, or if nobody ever just kind of stepped up and decided to be the one to, I mean, I don't know who is really supposed to be in charge of planning it, just whoever is the most willing and able to plan it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess maybe in 2031, maybe we'll have a 20-year reunion. I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily care about it. I wouldn't mind seeing like some of the people that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some shirts.
Yes.
Some shirts that were very popular back in the day, like we mentioned, was off the shoulder shirts.
Yes.
Why though? Why was
I think it was just kind of like this, like, here's my shoulder, kind of thing. And I remember like, I will post a picture of this off the shoulder shirt that I got. And I was so ecstatic about having it and wearing, some sort of like tank top underneath it. And it just kind of being like, look at how cute I am with just like one shoulder showing, like, but it was also, I also remember being like very annoyed by it because I felt like I was having to adjust it all of the time. But it was like super cute. Yeah. It was almost just kind of like, I don't know. It was kind of like being like cute and sexy without
like scandalous,
really showing off anything scandalous because it's just a shoulder.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Good times.
We didn't talk about dances. I wanted to talk about dances because these days you have everybody doing whatever silly trend dances on TikTok. But there were other dances going on well before TikTok was around. And some of the ones that were popular in 2011 or around that time was the Dougie. You had the Cat Daddy.
Do you know how to do the Dougie or the Cat Daddy?
Honestly, at this moment, I can't think of what the Dougie looked like.
I don't know the Dougie.
I just remember the song. Teach me how to Dougie. Right. Teach me how to Dougie.
I can slightly remember the Cat Daddy one.
The Cat Daddy was the wheelchair
looking thing.
Yeah. The Jerk, which I was never able to do the Jerk, but it was always funny watching people try. And that did make a little bit of a comeback not too long ago on TikTok. It was a thing like for people to start doing the Jerk again.
My feet just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it was it was like this weird like backward
moonwalk type looking thing.
And then shuffling, which became popular when that LMFAO song came out. Every day I'm shuffling. That. So, yeah. So we had dances back in 2011 too. But there you have it, folks. There's just a little bit of what life was like for us in high school, senior year, getting ready to break out and become true adults. We were listening to crazy songs, doing crazy dances, wearing weird clothes.
Wearing very bright colors as well.
Very bright colors, jeans that were far too tight. So,
hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun going down memory lane.
Yeah, it was nice. We scrolled through our phones and looked at pictures that we had from that era too for far too long, and it is fun to walk down memory lane, especially with a friend alongside. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you have fond memories of 2011, then shoot us a DM, write a comment. Our Instagram is at Girls Talk Shirts Pod. And we'd love if you could give us a follow. Maybe we'll give you a follow back. You can find any of our content on there, any posts that we have. You can find the link to all of our podcasts on there as well. So, yeah, we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.